is Life's a Pitch TV. Main sponsor, DPS Tech. Also supported by Lakens, all about hearing. GBS Builders, Seckford Golf Club, Ashford Wright, John Keeble Cars, Venue 60, The Hudson Group, Sound 4 Pro Audio, Come Hither Design, and Suffolk Sound. Charities this year: Cancer Support Suffolk, Forget Me Not Golf, and Combat to Coffee. Save some for Saturday. Save some for Wrexham. Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of Life's a Pitch TV. I'm your host, Mark Murphy. Welcome to the DPS Tech Arena. Let me introduce to the team. Here he is, Russell Osman. Hey! Where is he?
Who knows?
Where is he? Not here tonight.
No.
He comes when he wants.
He does. He's getting his brother's chamber, isn't he?
I know. Yeah. I know. But you have a track record of being ever present, Russell.
Yeah, I know. It's followed my career like that, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has indeed. Yeah. Let me introduce you also to the team who put the show together. And tonight, that is in the Sound 4 production, Sound 4 Pro Audio Productions. I can never say that, can I? Do you notice that? The Sound 4 production. It's a stupid name. The Sound 4 Pro Audio Productions. It's Richard Garrett. Plus Sarah James, our floor manager. And we have a capacity crowd in the Churchman stand, sponsored by John Keeble Cars. We have the capacity crowd. And the North stand, sponsored by Ashford Wright. Don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. It makes a huge difference to the channel. We need a special guest, and this week, Tony Humes. Yay! Welcome, Tony. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Really good to see you. Lots to talk about tonight. England, Ireland, town, your career, all sorts of things we'll get through. What's your golf like, by the way?
Very average.
Okay. The Life's a Pitch and Putt challenge is there waiting for you later.
Yes, it'll be very average as well.
You did have a little practice.
That's all you need here, mate. That's all you need.
Yeah, a little practice beforehand, just a couple of balls, and it was, so you know what to do later on, don't you?
Yeah. Even stupid Sound 4 Pro came
he did,
last week, didn't he?
He did, yeah. What did he get? 0!
Sorry about that, Rich.
He's bottom of the leaderboard, look.
Yeah.
Holding everybody up with the big fat 0. We must, before we do anything else, just congratulate our new heavyweight world champion, Fabio Wardley.
Fabio Wardley. Oh, Fabio Wardley.
You start it, Russ, they'll finish.
Oh, Fabio Wardley.
I'll tell you, his fight was better than the one we had at the weekend, wasn't it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eubank and Ben.
Yeah.
I think there was only one winner there, wasn't there? Eubank never got going.
Yeah, there was only one winner. But well done, Fabio. I mean, world champion, which is fantastic.
Yeah, nice way to get it as well, isn't it?
Yeah, without having a box,
Yeah, don't even have to fight for it anymore.
Yeah, enjoy his holiday now as world champion. Fantastic.
Yeah, fair play to him.
We must get him back with his belt at some point. I think,
now he's world champion. Ooh, blimey.
Well, we can ask.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, the only one we haven't managed to get on the show, and somebody else asked on Facebook the other night, was, when's Mick Mills coming on? Never at the rate he's going.
He's been asked on many an occasion.
And more.
And more. So
let's start with England qualifying for the World Cup, which we knew, but a couple more games, and what a group of performances from the lads, Tony. When you see the chart, no goals against as defenders, you must be thrilled when you see that kind of stat.
Absolutely, and in today's game as well, it's unheard of, really, isn't it? There's not doesn't seem to be an element of defensive mindedness. It seems to be more what you can do on the ball than what you do off it. So, if Tuchel's got that right and he's got them playing that way, bodes well, doesn't it?
Certainly does. What do you make of it, Russ?
Yeah, it was good. And listening to Tuchel's interview after the game, He came over very well. He's very honest and open about it all. And someone made a comment about, just going a couple of goals off set pieces. And he said, well, it's an important part of the game. He said, I don't really have anything to do with it, but, my staff, they sort all that out. And it's an important part for us to get right. And when it pays off, like Arsenal there, he said they're the ones to follow. They're very good at it in the Premier League. He said, so, yeah. And Harry Kane, of course, is sticking another couple in the back of the net, and you can't stop him, can you? He's having a great time.
Yeah. What would you like to go up against Harry Kane in your pomp, Tony?
I think once would be good.
Yeah.
Maybe that will be enough. Yeah.
He's special, though, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's amazing. Really, he's amazing when you think of what he's done. Certainly this season, as he's he's getting older as well. He seems to be getting better with the age. But I mean, his record is amazing, isn't it? You just look at it from what he's done over the last 10, 12 years or whatever. Brilliant.
Scoring in every competition, isn't he, at the moment?
Yeah, every competition. I mean, when he first went to Germany, you thought, is that going to be a bit of a swan song for him? But he's taken the league by storm. Last season, he got a serious amount of goals, and then he's just carried on this year. And I think he probably had a little bit of a dip maybe 3 years ago, and he sort of possibly looked at himself and thought, well, I've still got some life left in me now, and he just readjusted one or two things and got his act together with Bayern, and it's just flowed from there. Phenomenal amount of goals he's got.
Yeah. The thing I'm most grateful about his career is that how bad he was when he was at Norwich. Because he was dreadful, wasn't he?
Yeah, it has
just
that
didn't
effect
work,
on
did
people, doesn't it? Poor fella.
But good news. And then Dara O'Shea tangling with Ronaldo for Ireland.
Well, I think you have to show Ronaldo a little bit more respect. Just play him and keep him quiet and stuff like that, and do your job there. And it's just this day and age, defenders seem to go down a lot easier than they used to. And yeah, he's had a swing at him, and probably deservedly so. When you're tugging on somebody's shirt, you probably expect to get hit if you're pulling somebody's shirt. But I don't think he intentionally wanted him sent off, but we wouldn't have gone down in our day, mate, would we? No.
The game's changed, hasn't it, massively over the last 10 years, maybe. It's certain elements are very soft, certain elements are protective, which maybe give players longer careers, which you can see both sides of it. But certainly changed from when I first watched you and Mr. Butcher playing and what have you. When I first came down as a kid and seen how physical the game was and how it had to be. Yeah. But things change, don't they? Things change.
Professional now.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what they say.
Okay. No, I was going to agree with you. Yeah. I think.
You touch your defender, they go down very easily. And sometimes they look for the free kick to get out of a tight defensive spot, and they usually walk away with the free kick. So, yeah, but that's the way the game has gone.
Also in the news, breaking is Norwich City do have... Thank you very much. Almost slow there. They do have a new manager, and there he is, Philippe Clement, who was at Rangers. So it will be interesting to see... I mean, they're stuffed, aren't they? They're down, Tony, aren't they? They're down, aren't they?
You hope so.
Yeah, good man.
You hope so.
Come on, he deserves a round of applause for that.
You're always a blue, aren't you? That's the thing.
Absolutely,
yeah.
They've got a bit of catching up to do, haven't they?
They have a lot.
Whether Philippe Clement can do it. I think he's got more problems in the background than the one that he's got in front of him on the pitch. And you look, I mean, Tony's somebody that's been in that director of football role, and you know how important it is that you work just as comfortably with the managing and the ownership of the club as the playing side of the club, and you have to sort of bridge that gap very carefully, don't you?
Yeah, you've got to make sure both sides of it work. There's no point. I think we said a little bit earlier talking about it. There's no point bringing players in that managers aren't going to play because they don't like them. So you have to have that relationship and make sure you bring in the right ones in, which seems like there's an element certainly at Norwich now that hasn't been the case, and a lot of clubs as well. There's a lot of clubs, but I think it's working relationships that every club works.
It's a crucial partnership,
it's got
isn't
to be,
it?
hasn't it? Yeah, whichever part it is, you're going upwards or downwards, you've got to be able to manage it and do it in the right way.
Yeah. When did that start creeping in, Russ?
Crikey. That's a good question. I suppose, you could think back to even Brian Clough's era, with Peter Taylor. Peter Taylor was probably Clough's director of football, if you like, because Peter Taylor didn't do anything on the training ground. But Peter Taylor was the one going out making sure the players came in, and Clough got the players that he wanted. So it might have been around that era. Sir Bobby, I think, first tasted that when he went, was it Lisbon he went to, and suddenly realised that a lot of his workload had been taken off him because he had a director of football that he was able to rely on. So that worked for him. So it's been around a long time now.
Yeah. But it has got to be that right relationship, hasn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
It's a very, very important role in
Liam Manning at Norwich was, he was having players come out that he really had no interest in having at the club, I think, really.
No, and I said before, Liam's a great lad.
Yeah.
And Liam's a very, very good coach as well. He's a good bloke. He's a good coach. And he came out and he said, I've got 3 or 4 players. I know what I'm going to get from them when the whistle blows. He said, and then I've got the rest. I haven't got a clue what's going to happen. So if that's the case, you want to hide into nothing, aren't you?
So unless that changes, they'll still be in that same situation then, by the sounds of it.
That's it. Just a different coach.
Yeah. What are your memories of those Norwich-Ipswich games, Tony?
I don't.
Oh, it's pantomime season. I love it.
Oh, no, you don't.
Very good. Well, I remember what one. I don't think I played in that many, to be honest with you, but I think I remember one ending up in Norwich Hospital where I got knocked out.
Oh,
which I know happened quite a few times, but I don't think I played that many, to be honest with you. There might have been 1 or 2, but nothing that really springs to mind.
No. Well, hopefully it'll be a while before we play them again. Obviously, at Carrow Road still to come, but once they get relegated,
shame, eh?
There'll be a waste of space.
Well, hopefully it doesn't matter either way, because hopefully
we should be going up
the other way. Yeah.
Still looking good for that as well. Now the impossible task, Russ. It's time for the GBS Builders Player of the Week.
Troy Parrott. Ex-Blue.
Yes.
Yeah. No, seriously though. I think Dara O'Shea, a couple more games under his belt, even though that little bit of a fiasco with Cristiano. And again, it'll be interesting. He's probably played more games so far this season than any other Ipswich player. But you can bet your bottom dollar he'll be there Saturday afternoon. So I would give it to Dara O'Shea.
Okay, all right. Did you see any of the games, the internationals? Tony?
I didn't. I saw the England ones, but that was all. Didn't see any others than that.
Yeah, well, he's representing his country very well, isn't he, O'Shea?
Yeah, unless George Hurst gets a hat-trick tonight and helps Scotland do the impossible.
Yes, well, it depends when you're listening or watching as to whatever happened with Scotland and Wales.
Yeah,
so we may never know.
Never know.
But look, Dara O'Shea, everybody, he's got our Player of the Week. Thank you. And this week against Wrexham, if you are going to the ground, then the fans are collecting for the food bank again. So there's the food bank collection. And we've got a little message from Charlie.
Evening, Mark, and everyone at the Live to Pitch studio tonight. Sorry I couldn't be with you. Just dialing in to tell you about the collection we've got for Ipswich Town fans supporting food banks this coming Saturday at the match against Wrexham. Collecting all the usual things for our local food bank partner Find, with a specific request for advent calendars to help bring a smile to people's faces who may not be able to afford some of the luxuries that we take for granted. We'll be there between 12 o'clock and 2:30 collecting our normal places, behind me here in the fan zone and up there opposite Planet Blue. Thanks again, sorry I couldn't be there, and come on you Blues.
Thank you, Charlie. So you know what's going to happen now? Everybody's watching Life's a Pitch or listening to Life's a Pitch. Please take an advent calendar down to the ground, or some food, or some stuff for Christmas, because they do a brilliant job, and they take monetary donations as well, supporting Find, which
Edible
is brilliant.
advent calendar.
Yes, yes, preferably.
Yeah.
Yes.
2 birds with 1 stone.
Yes. Not any Love Honey ones, Russ. Although, who knows?
Love honey? What's that, Mark?
Google it. Google it.
Google it.
But not when Louise is watching. Or maybe you should, I don't know. ICFC women unfortunately beaten again. Which is a shame, but it's a big step up for them. So let's talk about you, Tony. Tell us about who scouted you?
John Carruthers, who I believe is
The one and only.
The one and only.
Yeah.
Was he one of? Did he bring you to the club as well? Or? No, I didn't know. No. John Carruthers, I think did the whole of the north. By the sounds of it, Cumbria right across Northumberland, way, Durham, etc. He brought me down. I think the first time when I was about 13, 14, I think it was.
Did you know where Ipswich was?
No. Found out, obviously.
Yeah.
But I remember it, being a long journey. I think I can't remember if it was the first time I came down, but there were 3 or 4 times I came down, and there was a whole host of us. There was a full bus of us, which between John Carruthers and Ron Gray, the great Ron Gray, got together 40 or 50 of us stupid Geordies, and we came down on a coach for a half-term weekend. We stayed at Shotley Barracks and played games. Do you remember those, Russell?
The parrot splashed out on your era, didn't it?
Oh God, yeah, it was heaven. I must admit, it was heaven. But
that was the old HMS Ganges site, wasn't it? Yeah,
that was right. Yeah, so we used to. I think we played games over there, just obviously between us, and I think we did at some stage come to Portman Road and play on the practice pitch. I think either train on the practice pitch or play a game on the practice pitch during that time. But yeah, it's a long time ago, 13.
What was that like though for a young lad coming down like that? How did you feel?
I was, amazing, really, amazing at the time because of the the profile of the club at that time with these guys, what they were doing. Won the FA Cup in '78. The UEFA Cup in 81, 81, and then was it 81 as well? Just finished second in the league.
Second again.
Could have won it. So, the profile for me coming down and seeing these internationals, George Burley, Terry Russell, Walkie, the 2 Dutch guys, Arnold and Franz, and then the front 3 of Eric, Paul Mariner and Alan Brazil. You're looking at it and you're thinking, wow, an amazing experience to see these guys. And at times watch them. I think we watched them train or whatever, and just see how good it was, how quick it was, and you look that's your aspiration to sort of reach anywhere near that standard. But these being international players, it's going to be a hard task. But amazing experience, coming down, and just the feel of the club and the people around it was just made me feel welcome, as a young player. Sir Bobby as well was fantastic. I know he's one of us from up there and watch you, which helps sometimes. And but just how everybody was at the club at that time. Well, that probably still is. It's a fantastic club. It's always been a friendly club, and just to be part of it and experience it as a young kid was incredible.
But in those days, it was about playing football.
Yeah.
So every day you'd be having a game or small-sided games or whatever, on the pitches. Not seeing how well you dribbled around cones and did step-overs and tricks and all those bits and pieces. It was about how you played 11-a-side football, whether you were a good defender or not. That was dictated to by how well you did in the games. As simple as that. And that's how they assessed you. You weren't assessed on how quickly you went through the cones and up the other end and managed to dribble it all the way back and don't drop it and juggle it. And it was basically, can you look after yourself and do you understand how football's being played?
It was very much the basics that we relied on, wasn't it? To look at and as you say, were you good at this? Were you good at that? And how could you get better at it?
You obviously shone. How did the signing happen then?
Well, as I say, it was over at. I can't remember exactly. It was either 13 or 14 when I first came down, and we used to come down every school holidays. That was it. So it was like 3 or 4 times a year. There was no schoolboy forms or anything like that at that time. It was just, were you good enough? Ultimately, as Russell's just alluded to, and we, just came down, just loved it, played football. Remember one year we came down was. Young Gaza came on one of the trips.
Oh, really?
So he kept us entertained. Even at that age, he must have been 2 years younger than me, I think, something like that, 2 or 3 years younger than me. So, out of that 50, there was a lot of different people. I remember there was a year as well when Pat Nevin was playing in the team when we played a game on the practice pitch. So you come across different people who've gone on to do great things in the game, who've actually crossed paths with you when you were a young lad. And just over those times, it was just as Russell said there, you get judged how good you were. And unfortunately for me, when I was 16 and my last year before, potentially I could have come down and earned a contract with the club as an apprentice. Broke my leg when I was playing in a school game. So, it was getting fit, getting back to, anywhere near as I could be, to come back and try and earn a contract when I was 16. But I came down, the club put me up in digs and lodgings I was in with Ian Cranston, which was great because again, a Geordie boy, a great lad Ian, looked after me. And helped me settle in, and then it took a while because fitness wasn't great because I hadn't done anything whatever. But then I don't know where the first team had been pre-season. It might have been Holland. I don't know. I think you went
Probably.
to Holland a lot, didn't you, at that time? And I was sort of in and around the club, and I think the first team had just come back from the pre-season trip, and Sir Bobby came past me and just looked at me and said, "Have you signed yet?" And I said, "No, I haven't." I said that they're not sure on my fitness because I haven't played and my leg recovery. He said, "Come with me." So he took me upstairs and met the lovely Pat Godbold. He got the apprenticeship forms out. Said, "Go on, sign that. You're with us now." And
fantastic.
Wow.
Amazing.
That's
Yeah. It was just a great moment in my life that gave me that opportunity.
Because you came from the north, that was, wasn't it?
I know, yeah. That's the only
You'd
reason.
come from the Midlands, you'd been bombed off for another few weeks.
Well, everybody's seen me play, so yeah, they'd probably say the same. Yeah.
Well, we've got the BT statue here, and of course he used to look after the beat of another fellow Northerner. They used to look after each other a lot. Those two, fantastic. But of all the people to sign you, when you look back, Bobby Robson signed you,
and I was incredible. Amazing, really, when you look at it, and just something to look back with pride. It's incredible. I mean, again, just to show how wonderful the man was in my first year. I was playing a youth cup game on Portman Road, and I broke my leg again, same place, same one. And I hadn't healed properly, I don't think, from the first time. Hence why I probably didn't look fit. But it was, I think it was sort of October time. The leg went again. It was broken, and by then Bobby had left to go to be England manager. And one day I was in the old Ipswich hospital, and just in a room, feeling sorry for myself, sitting in there on my own. And then he comes with a television and sits down and talks to me for about an hour. Says, "There you go, have the television. That'll keep you occupied." And
brilliant.
Just little things like that show how good a person he was. Absolutely amazing. I'm sure you've had many stories like that, Russell, as well.
I was in a Geordie, mate.
Oh, you didn't get it then, did you not?
Oh, we got a black and white one.
Oh, it was black and white. It was black and white.
Yeah. Oh, Geordies looked after each other. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
But there was a steady stream of people coming from the north, wasn't there? Carruthers and obviously did a fantastic job up there.
Yeah, there was. But I mean, there was a lot of good young players coming from a lot of different places. If you look back at Mark Brennan, who was the same age as me, came through the apprentice as an apprentice, and was a terrific player. Mark, wasn't he? A real good player. He was from Accrington, I think, something like that. Dalian Atkinson from Birmingham. Jason Dizelle, local boy. There was the recruitment, I think, which was Ron Gray.
Yeah.
Absolutely, he seemed to cover the whole of the country. Wherever they came from, he found good players, and Ron obviously knew a player.
Michael Cole.
Yeah, Michael Cole, London boy, wasn't he? Yeah.
So it was. The net was cast far and wide, and we had quite a few Scottish lads, didn't we?
Yeah.
So Ron Gray was up there, marvellous.
How did we manage to let Gazza go?
He obviously wasn't as good as the rest of us, was
Yeah,
he?
well,
So I don't know. It's strange, isn't it? I'm sure like where Gazza was, a Newcastle boy, that was where he wanted to be, wasn't it? And,
so he was a clown even then, was he?
Yeah. As I remember, he was stature-wise, he was short and sort of stocky at that time. So maybe he didn't stand out as such. I don't know. Or maybe he just came down for a laugh and enjoyed the bus ride.
Bless him. Can you remember your debut?
Debut, yes. I remember being absolutely nervous as anything. I think there was the days of only one sub. I remember the first trip I ever went on was shortly after I'd recovered from a broken leg when I was an apprentice, and it was Anfield, Liverpool away. I don't know if you remember it, Russell. I don't know if you might have been playing, you might not. 5-0.
Don't remember.
I don't think you were playing, were you?
No,
definitely
I don't think
you were playing now. No. But it just, there was 13-man squad, one sub, and I think it was Alan Sunderland was the sub, and I think somebody was not feeling that well, and so there was a chance that I would have been on the bench and Alan Sunderland would have gone in the team, and I just remember thinking, what? And just because Anfield, you hear the noise of it and everything. But I mean, it didn't come to it. So I was just the 13th man sitting on the bench. But the experience of that was my first experience of proper football, really.
Yeah. Helping the kit man.
Yeah.
Putting the kit out.
Yeah.
Making sure there was a pot of tea there and all those.
Just like today,
jobs.
really.
Yeah. Just the same. Yeah. Check everybody's boots. Anybody need the studs tightening and
yeah. But it was just experiencing that, and Liverpool at that time were amazing. So but my first appearance was when I was 20, so I was probably a little bit later than some. Was Blackburn away, which I know is a lovely trip coming up for you guys, isn't it, as well? So
again,
and it was a Saturday, but I was sub. I think Mickey Stockwell was playing. He came off injured. I went on and played the last second half, I think, or just most of the second half. That was my debut.
Bad pitch, wasn't it?
Oh, bad pitch, yeah. Heavy, real heavy.
Really,
I think it was November time as well, so it was
sticky, heavy.
Yeah.
Oof, horrible.
Yeah, and then played. I think Jimmy Quinn was playing. I remember that. Yeah. So Jimmy was a handful, wasn't he?
Yeah.
International, Irish international. Then on I think the following Tuesday we played my first full game. My start was Aston Villa at home, and Andy Gray was playing.
Right.
So so
good luck.
And we actually won. We actually won the game 1-0. Yeah.
Clean sheet.
Yeah, and then I sort of went on from there. So it was a good start for me. It was a good test.
So who were your heroes at that particular point? Who were you looking at when you were first at town? Who were the sort of
Russell?
Yeah.
I think Russell and Terry,
Don't look so surprised, Mark.
Yeah. I think, coming down from the club at a young age was you soon sort of aspire to be who's in front of you, and you look at them and see how they play. And as I mentioned earlier, we were just having a chat and just saying how physical the game was, and it was amazing, and how tough you had to be, and at that time to withstand it. And you had to stand up for yourself, didn't you? You really did, yeah.
Yeah, you did.
A lot more physical than you thought it was going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you watch it and you see it, but when you actually taking part and how quick it is, and I know the games it seems to be a little bit quicker now, and the ball moves quicker and everything. Yeah. But at that time, you had to be smart, didn't you?
Yeah, but the game could be brutal. And if the referee wasn't very strong, then stuff that was going on off the ball, crikey, you had to live by your wits sometimes. And I remember playing a combination game when I was 17, I suppose. against Chelsea at Pullman Road, against Chelsea, against a striker called Bill Gardner. And he was an experienced pro coming back from injury, and literally he beat me up for 90 minutes. And at the end of the game, Bobby Ferguson just said to me, he said, "You learned a lot there, son, didn't you?" And that was that. And you got swelling hair and a black eye and everything. And for 90 minutes, you literally got beaten up. And you either had to walk off or you just got on with it and try and give back as much as you could, which wasn't a lot in those days. You know? I was like 11.5 stone, sort of skinny little kid then.
Yeah.
And he just ate me alive. But you learn from it.
Yeah.
Keep out of his way.
So you admired Russell. Who did you go out drinking with? Russell.
No, unfortunately not. No. Well, again, another story. First week I came down. I don't know what day it was, but we had a week's training or a few days training. And I remember Ian Cranston saying, "Come on." "What?" I said, "Get a decent pair of clothes on, jeans and shirt or something." "Well, why?" He said, "We're going out." What do you mean? I'm 16, you know. And he said, "No, come on, we're all going out. Initiation." And turn up, we end up in, was it Keogh's it was called then? Or K-Bar? Or Keogh's?
Keogh's, I think.
Keogh's, and then you walk in, and there's everybody. The whole lot.
When your birthday party was it?
But everybody who was in there wasn't for long, but everybody was in there having a pint. So whether that was the start of it and whatever, that was it. But then after that, sort of regular, my drinking pal was Mark Brennan. So
Okay.
who killed me many times.
Oh, dear mate. Killed a lot of people. He did on the drinking. Mark, great lad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as a young lad, surrounded by other young lads, footballers you're looking up to, and what a fantastic time,
I just, you feel so blessed to have been given the opportunity. Luckily I took the opportunity and, had a half decent life in football. So, you look to that and think, great. But to do something that you love and that you've wanted to do from when you were a little kid is to have done it is amazing. Yeah, really,
I think there's
really good.
A very positive winning atmosphere around the club in those days, wasn't there? Everybody was having good fun, playing good football, getting good results the majority of the time. But the staff were hard on you. Training was hard. We've mentioned it many times here. Training was hard, and training could be brutal. So no matter how well we played, part of the foundation work that we did, being able to pass the ball and control the ball well, your personal fitness was very, very good. You were strong, you're in the weight room, you're in the gym, you're doing doggies, half laps, lapping. They didn't let up on you. It was hard. So, we could play football against the best, and physically we could run against the best as well.
What was Bobby Ferguson like for you?
It was great for me because he gave me the opportunity.
Yep.
When Sir Bobby became England manager, with Bobby Ferguson became manager, and I got the opportunity. So he was great in that respect. But as Russell said, God, he was tough. Yeah, and what's the right word? I don't know what the right word is to say. But
you can swear.
He was unpredictable, I would say, is a word for him. I remember one year we went to Bahrain on a trip, and again I was young. I hadn't played in the team or anything, and we went on a trip. I don't know if you were there, Russell. Were you? Was it Bahrain?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was strange. We went over for about 7-8 days or something, wasn't it? And played one game or something.
Yeah.
But I remember, I was just walking around, and all of a sudden I get a karate chop on the back of the neck, and it's like, what the hell's going on here? And just different, but again, just tests, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just little tests of how tough you are, or what can you handle.
Yeah.
Just certain different things, but little challenges all the time, and then just to see how tough you are, and if can you handle it.
Yeah.
So
good character.
But great, yeah.
Good character.
He would kick you in a five-a-side game, wouldn't he?
Oh,
he'd join in.
He would 2-foot you, wouldn't he?
And
Yeah.
he would just chop you down, just to see what you did. You know, that was it. Part and parcel of the day's training.
Yeah.
He used to listen to the old Life's a Pitch on the radio back in the day. And I used to sit often in the director's box at that point, and I would walk past him, and every week I would predict, like I do now, we'd win 3-1. And he'd see me coming down, and he said, not 3, I can't do the accent, but not 3-1 again. I went, yeah, 3-1. And he would hit me around the head. Nothing. And he would literally hit you around the head. Yeah. But great man, good times.
He
Good
kicked me in the
experiences,
throat
yeah.
one day. He kicked me right in the neck one day.
Did he?
In training, yeah. I'd knocked him over into a puddle on the practice pitch, you know, in the far corner where the cars used to park.
Yeah.
There used to be little potholes that used to fill up with water, and we used to have a five-a-side across there on a Friday morning. And I leant on him one day, and he slipped and fell in the puddle. And the next time I've gone to head the ball quite low down, he's kicked me right in the throat. And then afterwards, we're walking off, and he came up to me, he said, good tackle, with an expletive in between. He said, but don't forget, I can kick you. And he did, crikey.
Yeah.
Right in the throat.
Happy days. How did the time at Town? You played well over 120 games, didn't you? I think so. A good amount of time, good games, good. Scored some goals as well.
Yeah,
Manchester United was mentioned by somebody beforehand.
Yeah. Good
Scoring
memories.
against
Yeah.
Man U. Not everybody does that.
I know.
do they?
Yeah, it was a cracking smasher of a header, wasn't it? Sort of trickled over the line. Well, it just,
They all
just
count.
got caught in the mud, didn't it? And just went in. But good experiences again. Talking about players of that caliber playing against Norman Whiteside, who was strong as an ox, wasn't he? And just
Big Norm.
Yeah, but it was I can't remember, about 9 or 10 goals. I think I scored something like that. And it wasn't a lot, but
10, I think.
10 was it? Yeah. So did all right.
Yeah.
Did okay.
And then obviously Town's next opponent's Wrexham, which is where you ended up. How did you leave? What was the score there?
It was the promotion season, wasn't it? The
Yeah.
91-92 promotion season, where I'd started in the team. And we'd actually started okay, I think, when I was in the team. I think it was either 6-7 games in, playing up at Newcastle, my hometown club, with my family in the stand and everything. Went in for a tackle with Andy Hunt. I remember Andy Hunt. I remember his name now. He didn't do it, but I just got in for a tackle, and as you do, put your arm in to balance yourself, steady yourself. And his actually knees caught my arm and broke my arm, which total accident. But that turned out to be my last game for Ipswich, which was I think it was September of that season, as I say, early on, and then I was out for obviously about 6-8 weeks with the break and what have you, but never got back in the team, which was understandable because they were doing really well. They'd progressed, and Brian Gale, I think Brian Gale and Dave Linnigan were the two centre halves in the team that season, doing really well, and I just didn't play. So it got to about March time. I was playing just in the reserves, and at that time I was 26 years old. I needed to play, needed to get out, and Wrexham came in for me.
And bizarrely, all those injuries at Town and at Wrexham, you were pretty much injury free, weren't you?
Yeah, I missed a little bit, but not many games. I think I played over. I think it was about 250 games, 250 league games there, and obviously all your cup games you have in Wales. Welsh Cup, you have so many different games up there. Yeah. But I played quite a lot, to be fair, and over, when you look back over your career, I was round about sort of not quite 400, was it, something like that. So I was round about the 400 mark or something like that, which
decent.
It's a major achievement.
Not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. So that it turned out to be a great move. I mean, the season before, Wrexham should have got relegated out of the league because they finished bottom of League Two. But because the winners in the National League didn't have the right stadium or whatever, they didn't get relegated, and so a few months earlier they played Arsenal in the FA Cup, and probably you guys remember it, where Mickey Thomas has hit that great free kick into the top corner, and they Arsenal were champions the year before. And so the bottom of the league's beating the champions of the season before. So little things just click with you. And when I went up for talks with Brian Flynn at Wrexham, and great guy, Brian Flynn. I don't know if you've ever come across him, Russell.
Yeah, I haven't really.
Yeah, great.
Couldn't see him. He's only about.
No, yeah, not the biggest, but good, big personality, good man. Sort of set out what he wanted to do with the club. And, they've got the new, well, not the new stand now, but the stand opposite where the tunnel is now was in in plans at that time. So he said, "Look, there's plans for this. This is what we're going to do. We're going to build a club." And as I say, I needed to play, so the two clubs agreed a fee for me, which was amazing at the time. But I thought I've got to go there. I've got to play. I've got to get out. And even though they were League Two, I needed that opportunity. I'm a 26-year-old. I had to.
And you enjoyed your time there, didn't you?
I loved it. I loved every minute of it. It was fantastic. And we had an element of success, which goes back to what Russell said at at certain times when the club's doing well, there's a good feel, so everything's positive, and it just picked up. And my first full season, we got promoted, to whatever the equivalent is of League One now. And we did quite well. It was short of the playoffs on about 3 years running, just by the odd point or goal difference or something. So things were picking up, and we had good wins in the Welsh Cup. We had FA Cup games again against Premier League clubs. I think we actually beat Ipswich when they were in the Premier League, where I think George was manager. And they got relegated. Ipswich came up to us and we beat Ipswich, which was nice at the time, but you've got to enjoy it, haven't you?
And then, what do you think of all the Hollywood sparkle at Wrexham now with their opponents this weekend? A lot of people are really excited about Wrexham coming to Portman Road. What do you think about all this Hollywood magic and the TV shows and stuff? I
think it's great, isn't it? It's great entertainment. It gets people interested in the club, and they where they were. It needed something to get them going, didn't it? And for them to come in at a time where the club was National League is quite something, isn't it? When you think of what they've invested in the club, and to come in at that time to where they were, they could have easily gone to a bigger club and not had the trauma of trying to get.
Hell of a ride for the Wrexham fans, though, isn't it?
Sorry?
Real ride for the Wrexham fans.
Amazing, incredible, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, they're good supporters, like anything. Supporters are always better when things are going well, but they're well supported, aren't they? That's the thing. They once they get on something, they'll get behind it, and the run they've had to get the 3 successive consecutive promotions is quite something, isn't it?
3 points on Saturday, though, Russ.
Yeah. We were speaking earlier, you got to make Portman Road a fortress, a place that teams realise that if they walk away with a point, then they must have played well and they must have deserved it, And it's one of those games that, for me, it's got 3 points, 3 home points stamped on it all day long, And I think the vein of form we're in at the moment, I think. Confidence is sky high at the moment, so it shouldn't be a problem. Famous last words, isn't it?
Yeah, well, said that a few times, haven't we, on the show? What do you think, Tony?
It's the two different styles, I think. I think you look at the two teams, and I think Phil Parkinson's incredible job he's done, and he's done it with a way of playing. And he's had to. They've had to be strong. They've had to be resilient, and I think that's how they've sort of found their feet a little bit in the Championship. They started off quite well. I think the first game I watched when they played Southampton, they should have won, shouldn't they? They conceded two goals in the last, with injury time or something. And I think they tried to play a little bit more, but I think they've lost the first few games, and I think they've become a little bit stronger, a little bit more resilient, and a little bit more hard to beat. And they've had a few results recently, and they're
only 2 points behind Ipswich, aren't they? Even though we've got a game in hand, haven't we? Still. So.
Yeah, but they've got players who can score goals. Josh Windass and Kiefer Moore, is a handful. So the way they're playing, if they can stay in the game and don't get out of the game early, they'll have a chance because of the way they play.
Well, I think it's going to be a fantastic game to watch. I really do.
You look at Ipswich, though. Ipswich have got such a good firepower and players in form with Philogene and Clark and Hurst. You think if they click, they could blow any team away, couldn't they?
It's only a matter of time, I think, isn't it, really, before there's a big score.
Yeah.
Just briefly touch on Colchester. Manager of Colchester as well, weren't you?
Yeah, I gave it a go for a little while. Yeah.
Enjoy it, being a manager?
I did enjoy it because you go through different phases. You have a playing career, you go into coaching, and I did the academy manager's job, so I had the element of responsibility in that respect. And I thought, well, give it a go. And it was the way the chairman wanted to run the club was to start bringing young players through, to put an academy in place. So I was sort of tasked with putting the academy in place, which I did, and went through with all the rigmarole of that, which was a challenge. But to compete with academies like Ipswich, West Ham, so close, it was difficult. But we put something in place. We got young players through into the first team. Sammy Smoddock's at the club here now. I think he was 13 or 14 when I went in there. So we got players. We put something in place that we got players through the club and sold on for money, which again is probably one of the reasons he wanted to put the academy in there to get some revenue back in. So it did that, and then I thought, well, what's next? And he wanted, again, not just to give players opportunity but to give staff opportunity. And Joe Dunn left, and I just thought, I'll give it a go for a little while and see what happens. And it was a little while, to be fair. It was only, I think it was about 15 months in the end. It's a tough gig. You've got to be a special person to do that.
Don't fancy it again?
No.
No, okay.
Not a chance, no.
No hesitation there whatsoever, was that?
No. A lot of people will agree with me as well. A lot of Colchester fans will agree.
I'm sure not. Right. Well, it's great to have you on the show. We've got lots more to come. We've got Life's a Pitch and Putt to go. But it is time for this week's Ask the Legends.
Here we go.
And what this is if you're watching or listening for the very first time, it's a battle between Russell and Terry. As you can see, there is no Terry Butcher tonight. So, Tony, do you want a dep for Terry Butcher? Just imagine it's like back in the day. This is your moment. There's Big Butch. You've got a chance to play instead of him. Do you want to do that?
Give it a go.
Okay, good. Right, so we ask a question. You can choose home and away. Russ to go first. At the moment, it's Russell 11, Butch 12 and a half.
Ooh,
okay.
I could change that quickly.
Well... So, Russ, you go first this week, and I've got the questions because there's no Simon or Tony. So, do you want to go home or away?
Oh, let's have a laugh. Let's go away.
Away. Okay. Who managed England between 1974 and 1977? Was it Joe Mercer, Ron Greenwood, or Don Revie? So, between 1974 and 1977, who managed England? Was it Joe Mercer, Ron Greenwood, or Don Revie?
Trust me instincts, I'll go Don Revie.
Is the right answer.
Well played.
Takes you up to 13 points. So it's a home question, Ipswich Town question for you, Tony. Okay. Remember, Big Butch will be watching this.
Sorry, Terry.
Okay. Who managed ITFC between 1964 and 1968? And there is no multiple choice on this, but I can tell you that his son Paul was a golf professional. Does that help anybody? No. So who managed Ipswich Town between 1964 and 1968? You can have a guess, or if you're just not sure. Do you know, Russell? Or is there help from the capacity crowd?
There's a bit of whispering going on there.
Some whispering going on. Is that John over there again, is it?
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute.
It's hardly a whisper.
It's Terry Butcher and team, is it, that I'm playing against?
Well, it seems I've got no idea. I'll go with Bill McGarry.
It's the right answer.
Thank you.
You've closed the gap, though, Russell. It's only 0.5 now.
Oh, but I'll play against everybody,
Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry. So Russell
Butcher,
13, Terry 13 and a half.
Team Butcher, I'll put down.
Right, it's time now for our game Life's a Pitch and Putt. This is sponsored by Seckford Golf Club. So, Tony, this is your chance now.
Good luck.
We do have, for those listening, a couple of clubs. We've got left-hand club, right-hand club, 6 balls. And we have some holes that Tony will endeavour to hit the ball into. And at the moment, we have Wayne Brown, our top scorer, on 120. Sarah Jane, our studio manager, on 100. And then Adam Tanner, Mark Venus, David Sheepshanks, John Walk, Russell Osman on 75, Tommy Smith 50, Milts 20, me, Dozza, Butch, Captain Canary, Fabio Wardley and Richard, Sound 4 Pro Audio Richard, 0. So you've got 6 balls. Take your time, Tony, to see if we can get you onto the leaderboard. Give him some encouragement, everybody. Come on now.
Or maybe not.
Yeah. He's got a good stance there. Oh, good pace. Oh, it's just come up short. Just come up short. Second one now. Here we go. Oh, not quite.
Just
Not
gets
quite.
harder from here on in.
Third one. Still plenty of time.
Oh, hit the post.
Here we go again. Oh, nearly a 75. Yeah, I know. There is a mark to go down. Last one. Oh! Oh no, one more. Here we go. Is it in? Oh! Give him a round of applause. Tony, you join a very select group of people, including a world boxing champion, Fabio Wardley. So, yes. Right. It's harder than it looks, isn't it, actually?
Oh, God, yeah. It's not easy, no.
But there is I think it was Adam Tanner who spotted, there is a little line in the carpet that if you get down that line, it will take you into the 75.
I tried to get it, but that's my golf. It's not that good.
Somebody's moved all the holes, though, up half an inch.
Yeah, good point. It's time for On This Day in History.
Right, on this day in history, I'm going to take the liberty of starting on Saturday the 17th of November, 1894. Because for a laugh, this involves Colchester.
All right.
Colchester Town. In a 1-0 win at Colchester Town, Ipswich's Stanley Turner's shot cleared the stand. The stands were only small in those days. And landed on a horse ploughing a nearby field. The horse bolted and ploughed the fastest, if not the straightest furrow on record. That happened on Saturday the 17th. Right, Wednesday the 18th of November, again, 1891. Town's first match against foreign opposition saw a surprising defeat to Canadian-American tourists. It was a 2-1 at Pullman Road.
Got a bunch of holiday makers turned up.
Sounds like it, doesn't it? Ipswich had to offer their visitors £20 to play the fixture. The 35th match of a very long tour.
Wow.
Not bad. And that was in 1891.
Wow.
That is some tour. Also, on Wednesday, the 18th of November, coming back to a respectable date now, 1981, Paul Mariner scored the only goal to clinch England's place at the 1982 World Cup finals. Anybody remember who that was against? No, or me. No. Hungary were beaten in front of 92,000 Wembley fans. And then, just to finish off, on the 19th of November 1975, mustached striker David Johnson scored twice as England under-23s won a 3-2 in Lisbon against Portugal. And that was the 17th, 18th and 19th of November.
Fantastic. I wonder how that horse was after that.
Wonder if it was a Suffolk punch.
Possibly, yeah.
Could have been.
Would have done well at Newmarket, wouldn't it, like that?
Yeah.
Time for this week's Man v Fat results. They are just in. We have got lots of news from them. And, oh, yes, they're over here on a different piece of paper, Mark. That's right, there we go. So this is from Man v Fat Mark. He says, a very wet Friday night at Limburg Road did not dampen the guy's spirits, and we had an excellent group loss of 22 kilograms on the night. Individually, a good night for a couple of Town fans. Tom Self hit his 10% weight loss, and Aaron Marks lost 1.6 kilograms. Many congratulations to James Geeta, who scooped both the top scorer and amazing loser awards in our presentations from last season. Amazing loser. This week's results. Man Titty 6, Ozempiakos 19. The Lake Norios 7, Ips Chips Town 11. RB Liposuction 6, Not in Your Mum's Forest. Not in Your Mum's Forest 7. So well done to Not in Your Mum's Forest. Well done. Brilliant. That's from Man v Fat Mark. Tony, it's been great having you on the show. And nice that you've settled in Suffolk, haven't you?
Yes, yeah. Been over in Bury St Edmunds area for about 21 years now. So
yeah.
Nice.
It's interesting. So many players like you came down here, had no idea where it was, and ended up settling down
It
here.
is just a lovely part of the world, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic part of the world.
Yeah, fantastic. You haven't quite picked up the Suffolk accent yet, but
No, try not to.
No chance, is it?
touche.
Brilliant.
So we hope we'll win on Saturday then, Russ.
Yep. I still can't see us getting a clean sheet, so I'm going for prediction of 2-1.
2-1. Okay, Tony.
Ooh, I'll go 1-1.
Okay.
Just to keep them both happy.
No,
Don't
it's
sit
good.
on that
That's
fence, will you?
Maybe having a double scarf, will you, or are you still? You're a true blue though, aren't you?
No, blue, yeah. I've got blue. That's my first club, wasn't it? So
Yeah,
that's
has to
gotta
be, doesn't it? Really.
Absolutely.
I'll go for a Kevin Beattie 3-1. Look, thanks ever so much for coming on. Come and join us again, Tony Humes, everybody.
Thanks for having me.
Don't forget, we're still selling tickets for our Christmas bash. Our special guest, Tony Mowbray. Mogga will be along. George Burley has confirmed that he'll be coming along that night as well. There'll be one or two other surprises, I suspect, as we get nearer to the time. But book your tickets by going to www.cancersupportsuffolk.co.uk. That's on the 16th of December at Venue 16 in the Big Willow Suite. So that'll be a really fun night to come along. There's Christmas dinner. There's all sorts of stuff going along that night. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you're on YouTube as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thank you, Capacity Crowd. I'll leave you with those famous two words. Blue Army! 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 This has been a Life's a Pitch TV production. Main sponsor, DPS Tech. Also supported by Lakens, all about hearing. Seckford Golf Club, Ashford Wright, John Keeble Cars, GBS Builders, Venue 16, The Hudson Group, Come Hither Design, Sound 4 Pro Audio, and Suffolk Sound. Our charities this year: Cancer Support Suffolk, Forget Me Not Golf, and Combat to Coffee.